I'm a big YouTuber.
I literally cover court cases for a living.
I'm gonna give you my ID.
I cover the court cases for a living.
Yeah, what up, y'all? Welcome to Crown TV. I am the Crown Prince. Shout out to the Royal Fam, man. We done leveled up. We putting the petty things away. Hashtag Royal Fam in the comments if you hear me. If you want to donate to the channel and help us grow, you could do that through the Super Chat or the Cash App. Let's get it. Let's see what up with the chat. We got What You Jacking in the building. I can't see everybody, so if y'all comment right now, I'll be able to see y'all. Shout out to Ephraim Torres. Shout out to Bates Shot TV. Shout out to Zen Guys. Shout out to Letitia in the building. Fam Sarah in the building. We got Mei Ling in the building. May Bay. DJ AGTV in the building. Peps Paulino in the building. Brooklyn Leo in the building. Big Al, Showtime 1800 WSB in the building. A lot of new faces. Salute to y'all. Shout out to Boston George. Snook Aru. Straight from DC. Shout out to DC. Eddie Dunn. Philly in the building. Sleaze Gang TV. Shay Lacey. Gap Lord. Draymond Green. Shout out to you, my G. Clive Johnson. Liam Brown. Irvin Ocasio. Shout out to the Nightbot working overtime. Yo, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everything y'all have done for me. We in a new spot. I know y'all can't tell, but this spot has actually been moved 3 times within the last 3 videos. So I know they all look the same to y'all. What's special here is not this. What's special is everything that's going on behind the camera. Y'all gonna start to see a lot of different things. It's major stuff going on behind the camera. I'm not gonna tell y'all about it. I'm gonna just show y'all, and it's all because of y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. It's all because of the stuff that y'all have done for me. So all the donations, all the ad money, all it go right back to this channel, and we invest it right back so we can do bigger and better things for y'all. So I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear me out there. We're going to do things a little bit different today. I'm going to have a presentation on the screen, but I'm going to be reading from the phone because it's a lot closer and a lot easier. So if I forget to change the page on the screen, just remind me I could see y'all. Let's see who else we got in the building. Mark Kinsella, Eric Wright, the Connect 5. Yo, shout out to all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all greatly. Quan Ali in the building. How many people we got in the building, I do not know. Shout out to Sarah for the Cash App. I appreciate, not the Cash App, but the Super Chat. It been a minute. Shout out to Ja Media Studios. Let's get into this thing, y'all, for people who want to, this ain't the quick hit, y'all. This is not the quick hit. We're going to go through this thing. If we reading something that's not necessarily interesting, we might skip by it, but we're going to try to get through this whole thing. It's an 11-page document. They usually go pretty quick, though. Shout out to Newark, Delaware in the building. Anybody I miss? Armando Hicks, I appreciate you, my G. All right, y'all. So what we're looking at right here is we are looking at a sentencing submission. Now, this is from the government, and a lot of people have been calling this a 5K1 letter. This is not a 5K1 letter. This is a sentencing submission. So we haven't seen the 5K1 letter. We don't know what's on it. We have an idea of what it says. It's basically a recommendation. This is not it. And this is what... Okay. All right, let's go. So it starts off, I hope everybody can hear me while I'm doing this. Okay, it starts off. Let me see. A little bit. All right, it starts off in connection with the sentencing of Daniel Hernandez or the defendant scheduled for December 18, 2019. The government respectfully submits this letter pursuant to Section 5K1 of the United States Sentencing Guidelines to advise the court that the defendant provided substantial assistance to the government in this and other investigations. I hope y'all caught that. Accordingly, the government respectfully moves the court to sentence the defendant in light of 18 USC 3,555.3. We're going to start skipping over those. And the factors set forth in the 5K1 of the guidelines. It goes into his background. It says Hernandez is an internationally known rap artist who joined the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods in or about November 2017. He joined the 9 Trey following the commercial success of one of his songs, Gummo, which portrayed Hernandez along with many other 9 Trey members in the music video. Hernandez has acknowledged that he used 9 Trey to enhance his gangster persona, which in turn allow him to promote and sell his music. In exchange, Hernandez helped fund and further promote 9 Trey's leadership and the gang's operation. Over the course of the next year, Hernandez and other members of 9 Trey wreaked havoc in New York City by, among other things, committing multiple acts of violence in public places throughout the city. Hernandez was approached by law enforcement on the evening of Saturday, November 17th. Saturday, November 17th. They was arrested on the 18th, correct? On the 18th. He was approached on the 17th, 2018, in response to threats that were made against him that agents intercepted over a Title III wiretap of the cell phone belonging to Jamel Jones, a.k.a. Mel Murder, who was the highest-ranking member of 9 Trey in the street. While the meeting with law enforcement was primarily meant to offer Hernandez's protection, Hernandez provided some information. Let me switch for y'all. This might get a bit confusing. All right. He provided some information about the organization of 9 Trey and identified certain members of 9 Trey. Ultimately, Hernandez declined law enforcement's offer of protection. Now, he declined the offer of protection, but on that day before he got arrested, he provided information. Hernandez was arrested in the evening of November 18th, 2018, and was ordered detained at his presentment the next day. He proffered with the government the following morning, admitted to his involvement in 9 Trey, including his participation in an armed robbery in Midtown Manhattan, for which he had been charged, and provided information concerning the additional acts of violence, some of which had not been charged, including a shooting that took place in Smurf Village in Brooklyn on or about July 16, 2018. July 22nd, 2018, robbery and kidnapping of Hernandez by Anthony Ellison, a.k.a. Harv, and an individual named Shah. The circumstances by which an assault rifle was stored at Hernandez's home, and his ordering of a June 2nd, 2018 shooting at the W Hotel in Times Square. So he was providing all this information before TMZ released a video or anything else. Let me get to the chat real quick. I don't want to get distracted, y'all. I swear to God, I'm going to come back to y'all. It says, Hernandez participated in approximately 7 proffers. If you don't know what a proffer is a snitch session. That's where they sit you down with the cigarette and the soda, and you spill the beans. He approximately 7 proffers from November 20th, 2018 until his guilty plea on January 23rd, 2019. Based in part on his information, the government was able to charge additional acts of violence and added the following individuals. Ellison for his involvement in 9-Trey RICO conspiracy, the July 22nd, 2018 kidnapping and assault with a dangerous weapon, and the October 24th, 2018 slashing of another individual. This is information he provided. Denard Butler, a.k.a. Drama, for his involvement in the 9-Trey RICO conspiracy and his participation in the April 3rd, 2018 armed robbery in Manhattan. Kentia McKenzie, a.k.a. Kuda B, for his involvement in the June 2nd, 2018 shooting at the W Hotel in Times Square. And Aljamiah Mack, a.k.a. Nuke, for his involvement in the 9-Trey RICO conspiracy. By the way, we got some videos coming today on Harv and Nuke and their motions to get their sentences vacated. We're going to discuss those in detail. Yo, we in the new spot. Hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully the sound is okay. Hopefully the lighting is okay. If everything is good, y'all let me know. Okay. It says, in addition, Hernandez provided the government with critical insight into the structure and organization of 9-Trey, identified the gang's key players, and described acts of violence that he personally witnessed or that he heard about from other 9-Trey members. After Hernandez's cooperation became public in February 2019, several of Hernandez's co-defendants contacted the government to begin plea discussions. They already knew what was happening when they started taking pleas. Shout out to y'all. Let me know if the spot looked cool or whatever. He said, Hernandez testified over the course of 3 days in the trial of the United States versus Aljamiah Mack and Anthony Harv Ellison. Among other things, he testified about his membership in 9-Trey, multiple acts of violence that he and others committed on behalf of 9-Trey. My bad, y'all. Let me my bad. Okay. Multiple acts of violence that he personally witnessed or that he heard about from other 9-Trey members. After Hernandez's cooperation became public in February 2019, several of Hernandez's co-defendants contacted the government. We've been there. My bad. Multiple acts of violence that he and others committed on behalf of 9-Trey. His kidnapping and robbery by Ellison. Information that he had been told regarding multiple acts of violence that took place in the evening of October 24th. And his other criminal conduct. Given Hernandez's celebrity, his testimony was covered by multiple media outlets. And in fact, portions of his testimony were surreptitiously recorded and disseminated on the internet. Hernandez testified in the face of threats of safety to him and his family. Indeed, prior to his cooperation being made public, he relocated his family. In addition, extra security precautions were taken to transport Hernandez to and from court. Going on to the next page. I promise y'all, if I get to something that's I'm gonna skip over it. It says, for all of these reasons, as further detailed below, the government submits that Hernandez has provided substantial assistance and should be sentenced in light of 18 USC blah 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 and the factors set forth in Section 5K1 of the guidelines. Personal history and criminal conduct. Do we want to go through this? No, we don't want to go through this. We all that. I saw something about the proffer. Prior to joining 9-Trey in about November 2017, Hernandez had never joined a gang. Hernandez had hung out with a rap artist who Hernandez believed was a member of the Crips. Hernandez proffered that. At times, he portrayed himself as a Crip, but was never initiated. Then it goes into Gummo. We going forward. That's good. We get to skip through some of this. Offense conduct. Yo, I'm going to make this available in the band app for y'all. Y'all know how we do. Let's see. Long time no see. Where you been? Much love to Crownedtv. Yo, shout out to King Earner live and direct in the building. All right, it says office conduct. I ain't want to cuss, man. I want to respect King Earner and I want to respect YouTube. Shout out to King Earner. Go get y'all some CMOS Gold. It says, following the commercial success of Gummo, Hernandez became a member of the 9 Trey. Hernandez did not have to undergo any type of initiation. To shoot 31, they use that as an example. If you don't know what that is, it's in parentheses. It says, or to put in work, meaning deal drugs or assault someone else. And instead was directed to continue to perform in order to make money for the gang. Soon after Hernandez became a member of 9 Trey, he personally participated in a number of violent acts with other 9 Trey members over the course of the next year, as detailed below. Y'all want to go through the violent acts? Somebody said CMOS Gold in my weed. Yeah, shout out to King Earner, man. It says, November 2017, assault after the release of Gummo. Right, I ain't going through all this. We already been through all this a million times, y'all. I'm making this available to y'all in the band app. Y'all know it's free. Y'all know y'all could go get it. But we've been through this 1,000 times, going through these documents. I just kind of want to get the gist of what the government is saying. Yo, in these Harvard Nuke documents that's coming up, y'all definitely want to catch it. It's a lot of CEO Chris's testimony, transcripts in it. So if y'all didn't get to attend the trial, y'all might want to check that video. I'm gonna do that in the form of a video, not in this live. I don't want to keep y'all here all day. So we just getting the gist of what the government is doing. Goes into his younger days, narcotics trafficking. Goes into the assault at Times Square. Other arrests. Here is a part about his domestic violence. Of course, that's redacted as always. They saving the boy. Yo, shout out to Zeke Black in the building, the OG. Let's see, Mailing said if you are trying to comment, please take a moment to set up your YouTube account. All you need is an email address. Yo, shout out to Mailing, man. That's the #1 right there. If y'all don't know who Mailing is, you need to know. All right, let's go to this section 5K1 factors. It says, as detailed below, Hernandez's cooperation was extraordinary. He is a famous rap artist and was a high-profile member of a violent gang. In the face of threats made against him and his family, Hernandez decided to cooperate against his co-defendants and testify publicly in a trial that was publicized. Section 5K1.1 of the guidelines sets forth 5 non-exclusive factors that sentencing courts are engaged to consider in determining the appropriate sentencing reduction for a defendant who has rendered substantial assistance. The application of each of those factors to Hernandez's cooperation is set forth below. Significance and usefulness of the defendant's assistance. The defendant's assistance was both incredibly significant and extremely useful. The defendant provided an insider's view of 9Trey and a first-hand account of many acts of violence that the government otherwise did not have. He provided critical and detailed insight into the organizational structure of 9Trey, its members and leaders, and the acts of violence. Got some more redactions. Committed by the gang. In addition to providing significant information about the crimes charged in the original indictment, he also gave extensive information, corroborated by other sources, and about acts of violence that were not charged in the original indictment. Based in large part on this information, the government was able to charge additional defendants and additional crimes. For example, as described above, the government was able to charge Ellison, Denard Butler, and Mack, none of whom the government was in a position to charge before the defendant cooperated. Yo, if you in the building, please hit the like button. I appreciate you greatly. And I appreciate you greatly, Young Rogue Spitfire. Yeah, please hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. All this reading is tiresome. It says, in the course of his proffers, the defendant assisted the government review of other evidence, including social media posts, text messages, and recorded prison calls. The defendant walked the government through his social media account, which was quite voluminous, and located pertinent messages and videos and provided context to those messages. The defendant reviewed thousands of pages of text messages from his cell phone and identified text messages between him and other members of 9Trey. He provided context to those messages and decoded certain words and phrases that were used in the messages. With respect to surveillance video, the defendant identified individuals depicted in those videos and described what happened before, during, and after what was captured on the video. Finally, the defendant identified individuals' voices and recorded calls, provided context for what was being discussed in those calls, and interpreted certain words or phrases used by the participants in those calls. Hernandez's assistance continued as the government began plea discussions with several of the defendants. Hernandez's guilty plea was unsealed on February 1st, 2019, and afterwards the government was engaged in plea negotiations with nearly all of the other co-defendants. Indeed, only one co-defendant filed a pretrial motion, and that motion was withdrawn because the co-defendant ultimately decided to plead guilty. The weight of the evidence, coupled with the knowledge that Hernandez was ready, willing, and able to testify to, described the acts of violence and how they were related to 9Trey, were significant factors in the co-defendant's decision to plead guilty. Unlike in other cases, the fact that Hernandez's cooperation was public. Let me move this up for y'all. Well in advance of the trial, let his co-defendants know for certain that Hernandez would be testifying against them, and should they decide to proceed to trial. This was incredibly significant from the government's perspective in reaching pretrial dispositions with nearly all of Hernandez's co-defendants. Finally, and most significantly, the defendant testified at the trial of Mack and Ellison. The defendant prepared extensively with the government, understood the risk posed to his safety from testifying, and remained ready, willing, and able to testify at the trial. Over the course of 3 trials, its members, he walked the jury through text messages, social media messages, and surveillance video. He identified voices and recorded prison calls. and he explained to the jury what certain words and phrases meant in the messages. The defendant also recounted the harrowing details of the night when Ellison kidnapped and robbed him. The defendant further testified in detail about his own criminal history. The jury returned guilty verdicts against both defendants. And particularly, the jury convicted Mack for participating in the 9-trade racketeering conspiracy and narcotics conspiracy. We're going to talk about that later. The jury convicted Ellison of participating in the 9-trade racketeering conspiracy for kidnapping Hernandez and the slashing of another individual. The second factor is truthful. I'm going to just read the headlines of the factors. Go get this in the band app right after this video. I'm going to make it available to y'all. I don't want to read all of this to y'all and kill y'all. So the second factor is truthful, completeness, and reliability of the defendant's information and testimony. Or y'all could pause it and, read it that way. The third factor is injury suffered or any danger. I don't know where I got nature from. Injury suffered or any danger or risk of injury to the defendant or his family resulting from his assistance. The fourth factor, that was the fourth factor. The fifth factor is the timeliness of the defendant's assistance. Let's read that one. The defendant's cooperation could not have been timelier. He provided information to law enforcement when they approached him on November 17th to discuss the threats made against him. He was arrested in the evening of November 18th, was presented on the evening of November 19th, and met with the government on November 20th. During proffers with the government, the defendant provided information in a timely fashion, allowing the government to investigate and charge additional crimes and defendants. Absent the defendant's cooperation, the government would not have been able to charge Denard Butler, Kentia McKenzie, Ellison, or Mack in the racketeering conspiracy and crimes in furtherance of the 9-trade racketeering conspiracy. Finally, the defendant's timely assistance allowed the government to prepare for trial and pursue dispositions, ultimately resulting in convictions for all defendants. In light of the facts said above, and assuming that the defendant continues to comply with the terms of his cooperation agreement, that means he has more work to do, the government intends to request at sentencing that the court sentence the defendant in light of 18 U.S.C. blah, 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 and the factors set forth in Section 5K1 of the guidelines. That is the totality of this document. It is 11 pages, y'all. Let me pull my chat up and see what they talking about. So Tekashi will be home December 18th. You could bank on it. This judge has been following recommendations to the letter, so I'm sure he will be home. He's 6'9". Aaron Jim said 6'9" is not coming home, bro. I disagree. Percy Cole said that's sad. He getting 5 years at least. Aaron Jim, I want to get your name right. John Doe says false. Shout out to Mei Ling in the building. Yo, hit the like button, please. I'm going to make that document available to everybody for free in the band app. If you don't know how to get to the band app, I don't know if it's set up here. But go to your app store and download an app called Band. It's a big B. And then once you get in there, search for Crownedtv, join the community. All these documents is in there for y'all. Big Al said, I hope he gets at least 5. I'm one of those people. I know he's not, but I wish he would. Let me turn this down a little bit. I feel like I'm killing y'all. Yeah, go get the Band app, y'all, if you don't got it. I give all the documents away for free. I'm not charging nobody. And it costs to maintain this. So I appreciate everything y'all do and all the donations and the views. Let's see. The whole judicial system is twisted. That's a fact. Also, we can't forget about CEO Chris. Both of these boys helped to take down everybody else. He said, I ran with 9 Trey. They won his head. I believe it. Where is 6ix9ine currently? Where he's at is a secret to everybody, as far as I know. Snookeroo said, good work, Crown. Thanks. I appreciate you, fam. Hopefully my lighting is all right. I'm looking at the TV and not the computer, so I can't really tell. He said, Crown, what do you think 6ix9ine's legal team will say during his sentencing? I don't think his legal team has to say much. I think that the prosecution has now turned into his legal team, and that's what matters. Yo, Trill City, you haven't even seen what's going on. This is a new spot. It's way bigger. I don't know if y'all can hear but it's way bigger. We got 1,000 things going on behind the camera. I can't wait to incorporate it all. When y'all see it, y'all gonna be blown away. It says, I bet 6ix9ine is already out. If I'm missing you, fam, I don't mean to. Just type it again. He says he is not going to do no time because the government didn't want 6ix9ine. Yeah, I don't think they wanted 6ix9ine either. But I don't think he's going to do any time because of the amount of the help that they gave him. There was other people in this indictment that they didn't really want. And they still got time. He said, I bet you 6ix9ine is already out, and if not, by January. I don't think he's out. He might be. I don't think so, but he definitely coming home. They not giving him no more than a year time served. First thing I noticed was the lighting and sound. Had the compliment. I appreciate you, Mei-Ling. Listen, I've been struggling with this lighting. I've been in this spot for days. I had all of this back set up, and I've been struggling with lighting for 3 days. Yeah, 3 days, 2.5 days. And then I watched the YouTube video, and I was set. Crownedtv, what's going on with Kuda B? Do you know? I'll check on that for you. Hit me up on the gram if you got anything like that, and I'll go do it right then and there and hit you right back. The prosecution has turned into his defense. Everything that you just read is from the prosecution. So that's the prosecution speaking very highly of Tekashi69. So when he goes for sentencing, it's not going to be like everybody else where they trying to get the judge to, expect, like, look at what happened to Bat. It's not going to be like that when Tekashi goes for sentencing. The prosecution is basically going to be arguing why he should come home. You feel me? So you can't lose with that. Especially with this judge. This is a judge who he's been going by the prosecution's recommendations by the letter. We haven't seen him switch up yet. I don't know social media, but what's good with TK and YNW Melly? I'm going to be honest, Percy Cole, I haven't checked on either. I got some things in the work that's going to allow me. I'm not going to say that because then, somebody else going to do it. But I got some things in the works. This thing is going to be far more wide reaching. So just wait a few days. Crownedtv has made it to the top channels without any help. We don't need your help over here. Who you talking to, Trail City? We need all the help. No, we need all the help, man. Help us out. Hit the donate button. Let's see. You're 100 in the green on this end, Prince. Thank you, Mei Ling. He'll be home for Christmas. That's a fact. I think the judge is gonna want to see him home for Christmas after reading that 5K1 letter and reading this. Aaron, Jim, that's you absolutely correct. I will not argue with you on that. You absolutely correct on that point. But it does reference the 5K1 guidelines. You could be right, man. I'm not gonna say you not right at all. I'm not gonna say that he can't get 5 years. I hope he does. But you might be right, man. But it just looks like he's coming home to me. Yeah, he coming home to a bag too. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. William Duquette said he's a big rap. That's a fact. Aaron Jim, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. That you, I can't argue with you. It says, is CEO Chris gonna do jail time? I think he gonna do some time. He's done too much. Okay. I feel you, Trill City. You see, man, we kind of done away with that. We done away with the anti-goofy. We don't want to, we don't want to alienate. We don't want people to misunderstand what we saying. So I've done away with that because a lot of people was misunderstanding what we were saying. And Jade can't wait. She's sitting back waiting, as she should. If they had or have any prejudgment about Crown TV, they learn and realize he's unbiased and factual. Shout out to Mei Ling. Shout out to Brenda Rosario in the building. Yo, I want to shout out all the affiliates, if y'all don't mind. Zeke Black over at Feed the Wolves, the OG, always there to provide wisdom to me. So I'm grateful for him. Shout out to Ant over at Team Smoke AG over at DJ AG TV. Y'all about to see me and AG work side by side on this Troy Ave thing. I'm grateful for AG. A great friend, my brother. And also, shout out to Jimmy Jams, who've been showing me tremendous love. And I know I'm missing somebody. Did I get Ant over at Team Smoke? I hope so. Nathan Hunter said, one word, professional. I appreciate you. Kenneth Kenny B said, Crown my favorite YouTuber. That's a big thing for me, man. I never saw myself YouTubing at all. Yeah, shout out to Ant Team Smoke. Go check out all those channels, man. Definitely go check out Zeke Black, Ant, DJ AG TV, and Jimmy Jams. Jimmy Jams, that's my white brother from another mother. Forget about it, said free tax, that's a fact. My man been like that since we was shorties, Mei Ling. Yo, shout out to 2 L's, that's my boy right there. John Doe, it's good to see you, fam, in the building. Yo, people, y'all don't know that I moved to a new city. I'm down south right now. I'm in South Carolina. In a couple months, I'm going to be moving to Florida. I moved here from New Orleans. So it's been a long... I'm always back and forth, though, to home. But I don't get to see a lot of people. So a lot of people back home don't know that I do this. So it's good when people find me. Y'all get to hear from people that I know. Let's see. What's up with Troy Ave case? Mike Jones, you probably missed it, but me and the homie DJ AG TV, DJ AG of AG TV, we about to be working side by side on the Troy Ave thing. What's the date, AG? Yeah, I've been moving, fam. No doubt. That's why you ain't seen me in so long. I've been all over. Been New Orleans for a few years. Been in South Carolina for like 4 or 5 years now. About to move to Florida. Chris Bell said, I learned a lot from you. You are the facts king. That's all I try to do is stick with the facts. Y'all got to help me come up with a slogan. Let's see. Free AR Ab, Shotty, Tax, Low, Harv, all the guys who stood up. That's a fact. Mike Jones said, thanks, bless up. Father's son one-on-one. Shout out to you. He said we in the building. In Atlanta, Trail City. I'm coming to Atlanta next month. This month. I'm coming to Atlanta this month. I don't know the dates yet. I'm coming to Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta, holla at me. That's just a slogan. Sticking to the facts. Sticking to the facts. The slogan. Free the top goon. We gonna vote on it. Free the top goon and crook. Shout out to AR Ab, man. Shout out to Dark Low. The Dark Low's information is in the description of this video. Send the man a letter. Send him a couple dollars. Send him a kite saying, that you support. 510 Jamaica. What about the dudes who robbed and killed XXX? I know. Last I heard, they were still going to trial. I don't think they took plea deals. I will check on that and get back to y'all. Another thing y'all might not know is that Arlisha Robinson, the NYPD officer who was charged in connection with CEO Chris, she took a plea deal. She took a plea deal the day after Thanksgiving. We don't know the details yet. They are keeping everything that she does like super tight. She NYPD. Obviously, they protecting her. As soon as any of that become unsealed or available, I will let y'all know. But I'm sure she's snitching on somebody. I'm sure she takes from her lover and she's snitching. Tekashi69 to Chuck E. Cheese. I appreciate you, father, son, one-on-one. Yo, I want to break out because I want to get to this Harv and Nuke stuff. I haven't seen it reported on, not in the way that we do it anyway. So expect the Nuke video next, and then we're going to do the Harv one. The Harv one is a little bit more detailed. The Nuke one will probably be a quick hit because we could just run through it, and I could kind of explain to y'all what's happening if y'all don't know. Ab did not get sentenced yet. So, Harv and Nuke get sentenced in February, by the way, the 26th and the 28th. Anything else I think of, I will add it to the calendar. Nah, he didn't get sentenced yet, fam. He only got convicted. I think they got to wait like 90 days minimum before he could get sentenced, and usually they push it back so far, who knows. So go check the Band app. Go to your app store, download an app called Band. It's a green and white B. You can't miss it. And pick up this document. If you don't have access to it, I will provide it to you. Also, any other documents that I got in the past couple days that I didn't get to get y'all, I'm going to drop them all today. I'm back working. I got at least this part of the lab is finished, so we could get back to regular scheduled programming. And I'll let y'all know what's up with the rest as we get it done. I'm excited about it, and I hope that y'all like all the changes that y'all see. We're still going to do this, but y'all going to see a lot of changes and a lot of additions. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank everybody who donated. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget the Cash App, and I appreciate y'all. Peace, y'all. If you are suffering from depression, listen to me, fam. Better days are ahead. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and when we come out in that light, those are our best days. Let's always try to look forward to those days, no matter what kind of darkness we are under at the moment. Let's always look forward to that light and to those better days.